Local 7 and 103.7 WTIB present Talk of the Town with Henry Hinton. News, sports, and community information and everything that's going on around town. Now, with Talk of the Town, here's your host, Henry Hinton.
Hour number 2 here on this Thursday, Talk of the Town. Good morning. I'm Trent McGee alongside Heather King this morning from WITN. Henry had to step away. So we're going to sit here and bring you hour number 2 of this Thursday TOT. Coming up later in this hour, about 8:20, 8:25 or so, former presidential candidate Rick Santorum. Henry sat down with him yesterday for an interview, and we had the interview to play back for you coming up here in about 20 minutes. Also coming up later this hour, I will speak with former Pirate tight end and fullback Jay Sonhalter talking about this weekend's ECU Tulane matchup, which you can watch on WITN coming up at 3:30 on Saturday as the Pirates look to move to 5-1 on the season. Tulane 4-2 and 2-0 in league play. So, a lot to get to here in this hour. Heather, how are you? Good to see you.
Doing great this morning. How are you, Trent?
I'm doing well. The rain about to move off the coast. I think slowly but surely. It's been dreary the entire week. It's been downright depressing.
It really has been. So it's going to be nice that the weekend weather looks a lot more awesome, if I can use that term. But it's going to be a lot nicer, and there's some great things going around the East. New Bern has their Mum Fest this weekend, which will be good to get out. Mullet Festival, which is the fish, not the haircut.
Either way.
Either way, you should celebrate it all.
Either way, So there's a lot going on. Hopefully the weather will definitely move out.
It will.
The rain will move out this weekend. Right now it's kind of hovering just off the coast, right around Elizabeth City and Edenton right now. It's just kind of circling as it has been for the past 3 days. In fact, talking to Matt Engelbrecht yesterday, he said it's just not doing anything. It's not moving. It's just kind of circling, which is why it's been sitting around here for so long. So
got to get it out of here. It's almost like a nor'easter. And if we got this kind of system when it was cold, that would be lots of snow.
Yeah, that's right.
But it's not cold enough for snow, and thank goodness for that.
Yeah, that's right. I do hope we see some at some point, though. I do like to see a little bit.
Maybe once.
Later. Not now.
One time. There you go. And then let it melt and get back.
Great event last night at WITN, your ribbon cutting that you guys had. And I'm sorry I missed that. I should have been there.
Oh, we missed you. I thought about when I saw Henry, I thought, where's
for not being there,
Trent?
and I should have been. It totally slipped my mind, and I am so sorry about that. But you guys have a fantastic facility over there. I know you're really enjoying it.
Yeah, it's fun. I mean, work is always fun. It's a great place to work, but it's great to have the most cutting-edge technology available, and it enhances our ability to bring the news and serve Eastern Carolina from a news perspective and also from a weather perspective. Our abilities with severe weather moments are just off the charts. We're very proud of it, and we hope that people are enjoying what they're seeing.
Well, you should be. I know I am. So it's great to watch, and I personally am a bit biased, but I do really enjoy the new set that Billy gets to work on doing the high school football show, The End Zone on Friday night. It just looks so good. It's so state of the art, and so it's beyond up to date. It's just it's past current from what you normally see from people. So it's great to see and fun to watch.
That was our goal.
And in the news today, Heather, and this is a story that for some reason I continue to be intrigued by.
Yeah.
Almost. What's the word? I follow it because I'm just these guys that continue to break holes into businesses in Pitt County in Eastern North Carolina and taking money. They've struck again.
Yeah.
And they're back.
They keep getting away with it. This latest one, the fuel dock on South Memorial Drive in Greenville. Unbelievable. They just break holes into the walls, and they just keep getting away. Especially this, I'm sure you saw the surveillance video, I think from Belvoir, where the sheriff's deputy was just there doing the rounds, trying to keep an eye out for these guys, and they were already there just biding their time, waiting for their moment, getting in.
And I think I'm intrigued by it, and I follow it because I'm like, where are they going to strike next? And, and I wonder, I'm trying to figure out why they're going to certain places, and I wonder how they choose to go about the places they choose to hit, which I hate that it's happening, but it's awful, and they're going to get caught. They're going to get caught at some point, and I can't believe that they're continuing to do it as frequently as they are.
Yeah, it goes through little spurts. We have some downtime, and then all of a sudden they come back kind of with a vengeance, so to speak, and they hit, and then we won't hear from them for a while, and then they hit. They've hit so many different things. They've hit a post office, the poor man's flea market restaurant over on 264, several convenience stores, some convenience stores more than once. So they have just an interesting choice, although the bulk of them are convenience stores, and obviously they're after the cash.
Yeah, and last night they got broke in the ATM, got money out. So not sure how much they got, but hopefully they can get some more leads from what happened yesterday morning. About 5 a.m. was when it happened.
That's when it was discovered. So,
discovered.
Right. Who knows when they actually got there? But these crooks, you hate to say it, they're smart. They
are.
Either have some inside information or they're just able to pick their targets and they know exactly where to cut the hole. I mean, they're not going in and then have to work around to find where the money is. They're usually cutting right where the money is, so it's not a far reach.
No, not at all. So more on that here coming up just a bit with Heather's news update and the weather for today. And don't forget, again, coming up later this hour, Rick Santorum sat down with Henry interviewed Rick Santorum yesterday, and we'll get to that piece coming up here in about 15 minutes from now, and Jay Sonhalter on the other side of that interview talking about ECU and Tulane. And don't forget, too, the Shoes Pews Pirate Game Day Countdown will come to you live this week, tomorrow night. It's a Friday night edition of the Choose Pews Pirate Game Day Countdown live from University Chop House, 6:30 to 8. Stop by and see us. Should be a great crowd out on a Friday night and enjoying some great food from University Chop House as we look at ECU and Tulane again coming up on Saturday at 3:30. So we'll take a timeout right now, come back and get a news update from Heather King from WITN. More on this Thursday TOT coming up.
Unlock the best life has to offer for generations to come. Introducing the Legacy Membership exclusively at Ironwood Golf and Country Club. As a Legacy member, you'll not only enjoy all the benefits of an active, family-friendly lifestyle, your children and grandchildren will enjoy membership status as well. Belonging to Ironwood is remarkable. Sharing it with your entire family is even better. Become a Legacy member today, only at Ironwood Golf and Country Club. Golf at its finest, life at its fullest.
Many people in eastern North Carolina suffer from diabetes. The question is, can the disease be managed before it causes harm? Are there lifestyle changes that can help prevent it in the first place? And can a health system really make a difference? At Vidant Health, we're empowering people with tools and resources to detect and manage chronic disease. Can diabetes education and management help members of your family lead healthier lives? The answer is definitely yes.
Accidents can cause serious injuries and create many problems in your everyday life. At the law firm of Hardy & Hardy, we work to protect your rights and help solve your problems.
Attorneys Wayne and Charles Hardy help injured clients understand their rights and work diligently to obtain compensation for their damages and losses. Sharp negotiators, experienced litigators, compassionate attorneys.
If you or a loved one has been injured in an accident, count on Hardy & Hardy.
Protecting the rights of the seriously injured.
Pepsi, born here, raised by Panthers fans everywhere.
Raise your Pepsi for a chance to win the ultimate fan experience. See specially marked 18 packs or visit PepsiRaisedHere.com to learn more.
Having a vision of what really matters is how we succeed. Keeping an eye on the ball, seeing all the things that we need. Focusing on the big picture, always striving to do what's right. Carolina Vision Care, we keep what's important in sight.
Many people in eastern North Carolina suffer from diabetes. The question is, can the disease be managed before it causes harm? Are there lifestyle changes that can help prevent it in the first place? And can a health system really make a difference? At Vidant Health, we're empowering people with tools and resources to detect and manage chronic disease. Can diabetes education and management help members of your family lead healthier lives? The answer is definitely yes.
All right, hour number 2 here, 13 past the hour on this Thursday Talk of the Town. Hey, don't forget, coming up tonight at 6 o'clock, The Gun Shop with Colt and Lindsay, and a great show on tap tonight here on Cable 7 and 103.7 as they'll be talking Civil War guns. So a lot to get to there with the Gun Shop with Colt Lindsay tonight, coming up at 6 o'clock. Check that out on Cable 7 and 103.7. Time for a news update now with Heather King, who has some breaking news and also the latest on that recent hole-in-the-wall break-in here in Pitt County again. So, Heather, take it away. Good morning.
All right. Good morning, Trent. Thanks so much. Breaking news now from WITN and WITN.com. Emergency officials said 3 ambulances were called to a bad wreck in Beaufort County right around 7:30 this morning. Officials say the wreck was on Highway 33 East near Big Hill Road, just past the railroad tracks near Aurora. Crews are on the scene right now working to get injured people out of the vehicles and taken to the hospital. We have a crew headed to the scene right now, and we'll update you as soon as we can at WITN.com. Also, big story today, another hole-in-the-wall robbery has been reported in the Pitt County area. The crime scene was discovered in Greenville around 5 a.m. Wednesday when a fuel dock employee came to work, found a hole at the business on South Memorial Drive. It was found in the wall of the business, and the safe in the ATM had been broken into. Cash was stolen, but there's no word right now on how much. According to officials, detectives consider this to be similar to other business break-ins where a hole was smashed through an outside wall. Greenville police are said to be working with the Pitt County Sheriff's Office and other agencies on this latest investigation. Former state lawmaker Stephen LaRoque is due back in federal court today. The Kinston Republican was convicted on 12 counts of theft, fraud, and money laundering in June. A judge granted a new trial on 2 of the 12 counts against the former representative after learning that a juror had done outside research online. LaRoque's attorneys argue they have an affidavit from juror number 3 explaining the juror's mental processes and how the research related to the verdict, and that the research undermined the entire defense. The U.S. attorney says that case law precedent does not allow this juror's affidavit to be presented into evidence. And today's hearing then will determine if LaRoque will be granted a new trial on 2 counts or 12 counts. Nearly 80 animals have been rescued from a Pender County puppy mill after somebody complained about a sick dog. The Humane Society of the United States said Wednesday the Sheriff's Office searched a search warrant on the property where they found large and small breed dogs and puppies suffering from a multitude of untreated medical conditions and illnesses. The dogs were living outside in wire chicken coops in a breezeway filled with filth. Deputies also found chickens there, 3 calves, a horse, and a goat on that property. The society said the owner agreed to surrender the animals. Authorities have now taken all the dogs to a temporary emergency animal shelter. That's where they'll be examined by veterinarians and then receive any necessary medical treatment. Drivers across North Carolina are being warned to stay alert for deer now that it's fall. A study from the DOT shows in 2012 there were more than 20,000 animal-related crashes. That's actually the lowest number in the last 3 years. But over 3 years' time, we've seen more than 61,000 of these crashes with 20 people dying, nearly 3,500 people injured, and more than $144 million in damages to vehicles. Officials say about 90% of these animal crashes involve deer, and 50% of those crashes happen in October, November, and December. Deer activity is on the increase right now because of mating and hunting seasons. The time to watch the most is between 5 a.m. and 8 a.m., and then again between 6 p.m. and midnight when more vehicles are on the road and deer movement is increasing. With your WIT News update, I'm Heather King.
All right, thanks so much, Heather. And I have one more thing to ask you. Stand by for just 1 second. Let's go and get a weather update in. For today, again, cloudy with a few showers, a high of 63 degrees. For tonight, a few showers this evening, giving way to overcast skies. For tonight, lows in the mid-50s. For Friday, hopefully the rain will have moved out or is moving off the coast, or will move off the coast for Friday with a high of 66 degrees. Just a 30% chance of rain for your Friday. For tomorrow night, a few showers are possible for high school football in the area. Lows in the upper 50s. And for Saturday, a few showers from time to time. Highs in the low 70s and lows in the upper 50s. I wanted to mention to you before you take off for your Thunder Country hit, your alma mater, they're 5-0, playing good football right now. I wanted to mention it, but a tough one this weekend. Yeah.
Georgia.
Yeah.
It's going to be a big one.
Yeah, it is.
The University of Missouri. And, it was tough last year, the first year in the SEC, and they're playing well right now. This is really the first test. They haven't had too many big names, so pulling for my Tigers.
Yeah. I'll pull
thanks
for them
for
too
mentioning
then.
that. Thank you.
We consider you a Pirate, but we know you went to school, so I think it's worth mentioning that you did go to Missouri and they're playing good football.
That's great. It's great to see the Pirates playing great football as well.
Indeed.
We'll see you this weekend. It's good to see
Thanks
you,
for your time
Trent.
this morning. Good seeing you. Take care.
Have a
Heather
good
King
one.
With your WITN News update. On the other side of this timeout, Rick Santorum, former presidential candidate and probable 2016 candidate, he spoke with Henry yesterday, and we have the interview coming up for you right after this break. Stay tuned on this Thursday Talk of the Town.
Stallings Mobile and Mini Storage Company will deliver a storage unit to your home or business today. Stallings Storage is the only local company providing mobile storage units 8x15 or 8x10 delivered to your site. If you are remodeling your home or office or need to store merchandise and inventory at your business, you need to call Stallings Mobile and Mini Storage. We deliver, pick up, and store it for you. It's that easy, and there's no need to send your business out of town when your mobile storage needs can be met right here with people you know. Stallings Mobile and Mini Storage is located in Pitt County on Beast Oaks Road. It's a well-secured facility with a living manager. Fixed units range from 5 feet by 10 feet to 40 feet by 40 feet. We store boats, cars, anything you need. We are pirate supporting pirates. Call Stallings Mobile and Mini Storage today at 321-2300. That's 321-2300.
Unsafe drivers are all around you, speeding, texting, doing things that cause accidents and result in serious injury.
At Hardy & Hardy, we think those drivers and their insurance companies should be held responsible. We provide aggressive representation in and out of the courtroom, fighting for our clients' compensation for medical bills, lost wages, pain and suffering, and permanent injuries.
Count on Hardy & Hardy, protecting the rights of the seriously injured.
This is the spot where 50 years ago pirates came together to build a stadium, where 50,000 screaming fans cheer their team to victory, where cannons roar to mark each score.
You can paint this one purple.
Where pirate football lives on. This is the spot you need to be this fall. Dowdy Ficklin Stadium. For tickets, visit ECUPirates.com.
Having a vision of what really matters is how we succeed. Keeping an eye on the ball, seeing all the things that we need. Focusing on the big picture, always striving to do what's right. Carolina Vision Care, we keep what's important in sight.
Don't miss the Shaw Floors You Save, We Give sale. You save up to $500 on select Shaw flooring, like carpet, hardwood, and more. We give to St. Jude Children's Research Hospital to help them find cures and save children. Hurry, event ends November 18th.
Contact Jason Boyd today at Boyd's Carpet, 115C Fire Tower Road in Winterville. Call 321-7066.
21 past the hour here on this Thursday Talk of the Town. Hey, Mike, Neil, someone just actually sent me a text and said, do we have a Herman fade? I like it this morning. A Herman fade, huh? Start using that one. That's a good one. Speaking of Henry, not Herman, he sat down with former presidential candidate Rick Santorum yesterday and talked with him, who, again, is a probable candidate for 2016. Santorum will be visiting Greenville on October 22nd. As a part of the Carolina Pregnancy Center event coming up here. So he's going to be coming here not long from now. And Henry sat down with him yesterday to talk about a few things here on Talk the Town. We have an interview for you coming up, and here it is from yesterday.
All right, on the telephone with us right now is Senator Rick Santorum, former United States Senator from the great state of Pennsylvania, former presidential candidate, and will be here in Eastern North Carolina here in just a few days on October the 22nd. Good morning, sir. How are you?
Well, I am doing great, and I'm looking forward to coming to East Carolina and to speak on behalf of something that is very near and dear to my heart, which is these pregnancy care centers that are just all over this country, transforming lives, showing exactly what the pro-life movement should be about, which is, reaching out in love to those who are in horribly difficult situations and being there for them, not just for the baby, but for the mom and for the family, and in a non-judgmental way, just saying, look, we're here to love you and care for you and help you, and And that's what the pro-life movement, I think, has always been about. But these pregnancy care centers are to me the best thing that the pro-life movement does. And so I'm excited to come and speak in Greenville for the pregnancy center there.
I'll have ticket information in just a moment, Senator, for folks who missed it. We did have Blake Honeycutt, who runs Carolina Pregnancy Center, on with us yesterday, and we were talking about this event and what Carolina Pregnancy Center does. It's all about options. I mean, these days it just seems so easy for young ladies that get themselves in trouble or in a out of wedlock pregnancy, or even maybe a married woman, that it just seems so easy these days to go the other way. And Carolina Pregnancy Center is all about offering options without pressuring these ladies, and they just do a heck of a job here.
Well, that's the beautiful thing. I mean, they take the woman as she comes in and says, look, there's all sorts of conflicts going on in her life. You have, in many cases, unfortunately, in most cases now, you have boyfriends that won't be supportive, want to have the abortions, and even mothers and fathers of these girls or women are in the same situation, and she feels very much alone. And these folks just go out and say, look, we're here to help you. We want you to make this decision. We're going to give you information as to what's going on with you physically, as well as try to help you emotionally and spiritually. And here's the beautiful thing. They're there to help no matter what decision she makes. If she makes a decision to have that child, they're going to be there to be supportive, which is really important, to provide, help and assistance and parenting and trying to bring the father in to see if there's a possibility there to help try to make sure that the rest of the family is on board and working with them. So it's there to provide a holistic, wraparound help for this mom who wants to go forward and have that child. And if she doesn't, then they're also there to say, look, we still love you. We still want to help you, because you're going to go through some very difficult times in a post-abortive situation, and they're going to be there to, again, embrace her and deal with the problems that come from actually having an abortion.
Senator Rick Santorum on the telephone with us. Catch us up on what you've been up to since the presidential election. You've become a national icon, a major leader in the conservative movement and the Republican Party in the United States. So what have you been up to since the election, Senator?
Well, a couple of things. I started an organization called Patriot Voices, which is a group. We have about 150,000 folks that we work with all over the country to help make our voices heard in Washington, D.C. on a lot of conservative issues. We get involved right now. For example, we're involved in the Virginia governor's race, just north of you, and very, very critical race, one that's a tough race right now, but still within range of winning. And I've done events for Attorney General Cuccinelli, and we'll be doing some more for him. And we have our Patriot Voices volunteers, engaged and working in their campaign. So that's one thing, is to stay active and involved in the political realm. And I've been giving a lot of speeches talking about where the Republican Party needs to go and how we need to work to win and to make sure that we nominate and elect conservatives to high office. And so that's part of it. The other part is I have to work for a living. I've got 3 kids in college and 4 others on the way, and so I have taken the job as a CEO of a movie production and distribution company called Echo Light Studios, ECHOLIGHT, and we're actually launching our first movie in November called The Christmas Candle. It's a Christmas movie at Christmas time in the theaters. Go figure. How about that? You don't see much of that. If you actually think back, the last time a Christmas movie came in the theaters that had anything to do with the real Christmas,
yeah.
You have to go back a long way.
It was probably Chevy Chase's Christmas Vacation or something.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. You got Elf and you got Polar Express and the Santa Claus, but you don't have anything that talks about the real meaning of Christmas, and this will.
All right, well, we'll look for The Christmas Candle when it comes out. Let me ask you, we're taping here on Wednesday morning, and I presume they're playing this back on Thursday morning. I'm out today, but the government shutdown. Everybody, it looked like I've been saying from the beginning that Obamacare would lead the Republicans back to taking the Senate over and controlling Congress in 2014. But now, You know, the Democrat, you got to hand it to Obama and his spin machine. They've done a pretty good job of pinning the government shutdown and all the negative things that are happening on the Republicans. Here in North Carolina, they've shut the parks down. We've got the guy up with a restaurant up on the Blue Ridge Parkway that can't open his, he's got the park guards blocking his entrance. The beautiful Shackelford Banks down here on the North Carolina coastline, they had guards walking around, National Park Service guards, not allowing people to anchor their boats this weekend. We hear Ocracoke is got problems out there in the Cape Hatteras seashore. Is this going to backfire on the Republicans? If you were in Congress right now, what would you be saying to the leadership of the House, John Boehner, and people like Ted Cruz who've kind of led this charge? Would you say stay the course, or is it time to shut this thing down and point made, let's move on, or how would you view it right now?
Well, I mean, I would say that the idea of making Obamacare the centerpiece of this whole situation was a great idea. I'm not too sure that it was executed in a very effective fashion. I think people got in there and planted the flag and made it about government. Not shutting down the government, but shutting down Obamacare and defunding it, instead of pointing out, what would have been, I think, and in fact is right now, a very effective way to go at this, which is, President Obama has relieved the mandate from small businesses and large businesses because of its tremendously negative economic impact on them. Yet he's leaving it on individuals, and they're going to have a tremendously negative impact on them. Had we made it about the individual mandate and delaying Obamacare until the economy is better, or until we have a better way of how this is going to be implemented, would have been a rational and reasonable thing to do, but that's not what was done, and as a result, I think we've got ourselves in a situation where we look like the ones trying to take the sort of the hardcore position and not willing to compromise. Now the president's in the position of taking a hardcore position and not willing to compromise. I would argue right now the Republicans and what they're doing is very reasonable. What the president is doing is unreasonable. To suggest that we're going to have a reconciliation here without him moving 1 inch, not negotiating one bit, is not something that I've seen in anything, in my marriage, in my business, or in politics. And so I think the Republicans actually have backed away from the hardline approach, have put up some very reasonable things that I think that the public actually supports, and I think it's important for them to stay the course at this point. Giving the president, a complete, capitulating completely to the president when his demands are unreasonable, I think would be a very unwise move and could really fracture the party even more.
Who do you like in 2016, Senator Santorum?
Well,
that's a loaded question.
Well, if this one guy decides to run, I'm really going to be for him.
Is that right? Is he a former senator from Pennsylvania?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, he is. I know you read my mind on that one. But
so what are you saying? Are you back in? Now you've run twice, right?
Oh no, I just ran once. I ran in the last go round as my first.
For some reason, I thought your name kind of popped up during the 2008 deal. It didn't?
No, it wouldn't have. In fact, 2006 was a rough year for Republicans, and it was a rough year for me in Pennsylvania. So I lost my election in Pennsylvania. So no, I wasn't back out there in 2008, but. Just circumstances led us to get out there, and frankly, it was Obamacare that really led me and inspired me to get out there and start fighting. And one thing led to another. Ended up running for president and winning 11 states and getting 4 million votes. And I'm now looking at potentially getting back in there, but no decisions at this point.
So no decisions, no commitments. Are you out raising?
No announcements this morning on the show.
Do you still have a fundraising committee?
Oh yeah, I mean our organization is called Patriot Voices, and if folks want to be helpful and encouraging, you can go to patriotvoices.com or go on our Facebook page or whatever, and there's ways for you to help and continue to financially and otherwise supporting us. Sign up to. We have chapters starting all over the country. We're in I think 38 or 39 states right now. Up to 42 states, and we're trying to grow our organization and making sure that. We have conservative voices on everything from national security to economic to cultural issues.
Well, look, it's great talking to you again. Rick Santorum on the telephone with us, and if you're interested in this event, and your message when you speak here at the Greenville Convention Center on October 22nd, will it be mostly dealing with the issues surrounding the Carolina Pregnancy Center mission, or will you talk about politics? What are you going to talk about?
Well, I'll talk about the mission of the Carolina Pregnancy Center, but I'm also going to talk about how that fits into the broader milieu of what's going on in the country right now, because they're not two separate things.
If you are interested in tickets and meeting Senator Santorum and seeing his speech here at the Greenville Convention Center on October 22nd, you should go to the website for Carolina Pregnancy Center. It's friendsofcpc.org, friendsofcpc.org, or you can call 299-0827. Pardon me. Tickets are $35 each, or you can get a table of 10 for $350. Senator, it's been a pleasure. Thank you for being on with us.
Thank you, Henry. All right. You have a good day.
All right. Talk to you later. Senator Rick Santorum, our guest.
All right. That was Henry and Rick Santorum from Wednesday. We played the interview back for you. Don't forget that Mr. Santorum is coming to Greenville on October 22nd. He will be at the Greenville Convention Center as a part of the Carolina Pregnancy event coming up there. Again, tickets are $35 for that event. So a great interview there. If you missed that, want to hear it again, you can check it out via archive on Bowdensville.net. So go back and listen to the interview if you choose to, there with Henry and former presidential candidate and, again, probable 2016 candidate Rick Santorum. We'll take a break here on this Thursday Talk of the Town. Come back, we'll check in with former Pirate Jay Sonhalter and talk about this weekend's game with ECU and Tulane, a pivotal Conference USA matchup. That coming up. It's 25 in front of the top of the hour.
You want out of your old car but owe more than it's worth? You want credit but the bank won't approve you? Greenville Toyota will take care of all of that during our great September sell-off. Get up to 125% of Blue Book value for your trade. Then get to a new 2013 Toyota with zero down. Corolla's $179 a month. Camrys $219 a month. And get the Greenville Toyota Advantage with covered maintenance for life. Don't miss Greenville Toyota's great September sell-off, where if you give us 15 minutes, we can lower your high car payment.
Top Dog Academy is Eastern North Carolina's complete dog training facility. Top Dog provides an excellent environment for dogs of all ages with training services and work week daycare. Top Dog is located on Highway 43 South, just 4 miles from Bells Fork, and features a comfortable, healthy environment and a spacious facility for daycare and a brand new, beautiful facility for training. Call 752-8215 or visit TopDogOnline.com.
Come on out Highway 43 South to Top Dog Academy, where we know dogs.
Pepsi, born here, raised by Panthers fans everywhere.
Raise your Pepsi for a chance to win the ultimate fan experience. See specially marked 18 packs or visit PepsiRaisedHere.com to learn more.
When you're on the go, it's Trade Wilco. No matter where you go in Eastern Carolina, there's sure to be an attractive and always clean Trade Wilco Hess station nearby. For the absolute lowest prices on gas, groceries, and travel necessities, stop at any of the Trade Wilco Hess stations throughout Eastern Carolina. Keep your eyes on the road, but remember to look for the green and white Hess sign. The best part? No one supports the ECU Pirates more. So when you're on the go, it's Trade Wilco.
You want out of your old car but owe more than it's worth? You want credit? Bank won't approve you? Greenville Toyota will take care of all of that during our great September sell-off. Get up to 125% of Blue Book value for your trade. Then get to a new 2013 Toyota with zero down. Corolla's $179 a month. Camrys $219 a month. And get the Greenville Toyota Advantage with covered maintenance for life. Don't miss Greenville Toyota's great September sell-off, where if you give us 15 minutes, we can lower your high car payment.
This is the spot where 50 years ago, Pirates came together to build a stadium, where 50,000 screaming fans cheer their team to victory, where cannons roar to mark each score.
You can paint this one purple.
Where Pirate football lives on. This is the spot you need to be this fall. Dowdy Ficklin Stadium. For tickets, visit ECUPirates.com.
$18 before the top of the hour on this Thursday Talk of the Town. I'm Trent McGee, filling in for Henry this morning, and we're trying to link up here with Jay Sonhalter, who's having some phone issues. We're going to get to Jay here in just a moment, getting you ready for ECU and Tulane coming up. We're going to talk about that game this weekend, a pivotal matchup in Conference USA for the Pirates as they look to up their mark to 5-1. Tulane leading the West Division of Conference USA with a better overall mark. They're 4-2. They're 2-0 in league play. Rice is also 2-0 in the West Division of Conference USA. So we're going to get to that. And don't forget, Jay will join myself and Pat Jones coming up tomorrow night at University Chop House for the Shoes Pews Pirate Game Day Countdown, which kicks off at 6:30. So stop by there and see us there in the bar at Chop House and enjoy a great drink or some food there with us. And we'll give you all the information you need to get you ready for Saturday's 3:30 kickoff from the Superdome in New Orleans with Tulane, as again the Pirates look to move to 4-1 and go to 3-0 in Conference USA. Should be a tough matchup, I think, for the Pirates. In that game, they escaped Middle Tennessee a week ago, 24-17, and they had to really grind that win out. So I think that they're going to have to do the same here this weekend against the Tulane football team that's playing better. They really haven't played stiff competition as of late or really at all this season, but it will be a tough matchup as the Pirates always seem to struggle for some reason there in the Superdome against Tulane. Certainly ECU on paper, the better football team, should win that game easily if you look at the stats and where these two teams are right now in the season. But Tulane, I think, will come out and be ready to go, and by far their toughest matchup of the season. So we're pleased to be joined now by Jay Sonhalter, former Pirate tight end circa 2005 to 2007, who played here under Skip Holtz with the Pirates. Jay also a part of our Pirate Game Day Countdown crew. Jay, good morning. How are you?
I'm great. How's it going, Trent?
Good to have you on with us. We appreciate you spending some time with us this morning on Talk of the Town. Jay, Saturday, the Pirates travel to New Orleans again for a pivotal Conference USA matchup with West Division leader Tulane. And Jay, let's start with the elephant in the room, which is this week's announcement that Pirate inside wide receivers Danny Webster and Kwate Samira have been suspended indefinitely for violation of team policy. Webster, the team's third leading receiver. And, Jay, I was looking at this and thinking what kind of impact this would have on ECU. Certainly a big one. From a standpoint, though, in my opinion, that's a little bit different than what I think other people could be thinking about in terms of Danny's pass-catching ability. And I should also say, too, that Kwate Samira, he has played in a couple of contests. He has, I believe, a couple of catches for 19 yards. So he's a guy that they can certainly filter in there if they need to. So losing both of those guys certainly hurts. But Webster, by far, a much bigger impact with his loss. And I say that, Jay, from the standpoint of Danny, to me, he's such a hard-nosed, gritty player. He is, I think he's the kind of guy that other teams hate because he goes across the middle. He's not afraid to get hit. Danny is very confident. He's very confident on the field with his play, and he backs it up. He'll talk a little trash to you, and he's the kind of guy that teams don't like. But he gives, I think, your football team and the players around him confidence with the way he goes out there and carries himself. Again, other teams might not like it, but he gets the job done, and he kind of sparks, I think, this football team. So the impact that he has, or the impact that he's had on this football team, certainly this season and even last season, has been tremendous. And Jay, losing him for this game this weekend could be a big blow for ECU.
Yeah, I think it is, Trent. And when you look back at the start of the season, we've had 4 wide receivers suspended, with Justin Jones and Danny Webster being the 2 big names, but we've had a total of 4. So we're lucky that the wide receiver core has depth. And I think that guys will step up, and there's enough athletes in that position that can step up and replace him. But I do think it's a big blow because he filled that role as the tough guy going over the middle, but also, too, he took a lot of those screens and also did a good job blocking down the field for Cooper and then for the other wide receivers. So he's one of those guys that, you can put somebody in there and fill that role, but you may just not get the same production from him. Kind of like a situation with the Patriots. They lose Wes Welker, and they bring in Danny Amendola, and Danny Amendola is a great player, but he's just not Wes Welker. And I kind of feel like that's maybe what's going to happen in this time where Danny Webster's out of the field. We'll be able to fill somebody in there, but they're not going to be able to do the things that he did because he did a lot of things really well.
Yeah, I agree. And in fact, Isaiah Jones will move the true freshman back to his original position, which is the inside receiver slot. And you make a great point. And, the Pirates have shown they have depth at key positions this season, and they've had guys fill in, certainly from a defensive standpoint. You look at Brandon Williams and Zeke Bigger, those two filling in for Kyle Tudor and Jeremy Grove. Terry Williams being out, we've had a great fill-in there. Ventavious Cooper doubtful this weekend for the game, and we've seen guys like Chris Hairston step up. We did find out this week Corey Hunter done for the season with an injury, so guys have stepped up. But when you look at Danny Webster, he's different to me, in my opinion, Jay, because, he can do it certainly from catching the football on the outside or in the inside. But in the punt game, the kickoff return game, he's been there. He plays a factor there. So they're going to have to fill that void, not just at the receiver position, but at other parts of the field. So, again, losing Danny Webster, tough to fill those shoes. But the Pirates have shown they can do it, so hopefully they can get that done again this weekend. And, Jay, what's going to be one of those games to where I think it's bigger, if you want to, I hate trap game. I hate talking about trap games, and I hate the term trap game. But when you look at this game, I think it's a bigger trap game to me than what Middle Tennessee State was. The Pirates had to really grind that win out last weekend against Middle Tennessee, which is a better football team than Tulane. But it's something about going to that Superdome in New Orleans. In fact, Jay, their 3 home contests this season, they have, according to their announced attendance, roughly 61,000. So,
Wow.
There won't be many people there. I think their largest crowd thus far was just over 20,000. They had homecoming a week ago against North Texas. They barely beat North Texas 24-21. So, again, on paper, ECU by far the better football team. And I think people will agree that the better football team overall anyway. They just are. They're more talented. Should win this game, but it's something about playing there that's always tough for the Pirates, isn't it?
Well, it's going to be a tough game just because you come off 2 emotional games at North Carolina and then on the road again against Middle Tennessee. So you've had 2 road games in a row, and then now you're going to New Orleans. So that does take a toll on you. And plus add in the fact that there's not going to be anybody in the stands. So it's really going to be key for this team to get motivated for each and every game, really, till the end of the year, because you look at the schedule, there's NC State and Marshall. Those are the last 2 tough games where you can see there's going to be a big challenge or more talent on the field, or even talent, I should say. But the rest of the schedule, there's Tulane, Southern Miss, FIU, Tulsa, UAB. Those are all games we should be favored in, and I think it's going to be a key for this team to really get up for each and every one of those games, because we should win each and every one of those, but we could also lose, and if we have a hiccup, that's really going to put a dent in what's been a great season so far.
Jay, how do you think teams typically fare when they play on the artificial turf that they'll play on this weekend?
Yeah.
Not playing on the grass. Any big or significant difference when teams are playing on that compared to grass?
Well, for ECU, it shouldn't really be a big deal because we actually have a turf practice field. So I know they've been practicing on that field all week, and many of the fields in Conference USA have the turf on it. But there is a difference. The grass is probably going to be a slower playing surface, where the turf you can play faster on. I don't think that'll play as much of a factor for ECU because, like I said, they have a turf practice field, so they're used to it and used to how it feels. I think the bigger factor will be just playing in a dome with nobody in it. But they do have experience playing there last year for a regular season game and the bowl game. So I think that this team has the experience, and it shouldn't be as big a factor as maybe it could be for other teams. But it's still going to be a tough thing to overcome. Just anytime you're playing in a stadium where there's nobody there, you really have to motivate yourself.
Jay Songhalter, former Pirate tight end and fullback here, and contributor to the Choose Pews Pirate Game Day Countdown on this Thursday Talk of the Town, 13 before the top of the hour. Jay, this game this weekend features a matchup with again a high Pirate offense in ECU. Tulane, which is actually I said they were playing better. Their defense has really stepped up. In fact, they've held their last 2 opponents to under 50 yards rushing. Again, Ventavious Cooper not in this weekend. Chris Hairston having to step up and fill that role along with Breonna Allen. So the Pirate running game without Cooper, how much do you think that will be affected? Because Cooper started the game a week ago, left after that big hit there that he took against Middle Tennessee in the second quarter, suffering concussion symptoms there. So he has not been ruled out, but it's really unlikely that he's going to play this weekend. So we're going to have to see really a brand new face start the game in this Pirate running game. It's going to be interesting to see how they fare not having Cooper available at all.
Yeah, I think that's a big part of this game, and I'm glad you brought that up because last week when Cooper went out, Harrison did a good job, but Cooper's just such a big part of this offense and really does so many things so well as far as running the ball inside and outside and catching the ball in the backfield. And I think that's something that we missed and something that this team going forward hopefully can get him back because he is so important and valuable. But Harrison did a good job. He really more of a slasher, which has a different style, and he got out on the outside, made some good runs. But I think it's going to be key for the East Carolina offense to stay consistent and to run the ball. Because they're going against a Tulane defense that has some confidence on that side of the ball and stopped the run successfully, like you said, the past couple of weeks. But the game plan needs to include the run, and even though you lose your starting running back, you still need to continue to run the ball because once we have the threat of the run, we'll be able to throw the ball that much easier on the outside with Shane Carter and those wide receivers we have.
Going back to that game last week, I felt like the Pirates, again, it was 24-17 win by ECU, but they had their chances. There were some missed opportunities in that game by ECU. Shane Carter even missed some throws downfield that he could have had, and I felt like the Pirates certainly should have won that game by a little more than what they did, but a win's a win. They'll certainly take it. Don't get me wrong. Great interception by Damon Magazoo there in the second half to really seal that victory for ECU. But when you look back at that game against the Blue Raiders a week ago, what were you not so impressed with in that game for ECU?
Well, I think you're right. I think there were a couple missed opportunities, and that opportunity, the scoring drive before halftime, I think that was another missed opportunity. But I think that game, it was good to get a win, and I knew coming after that UNC game there may be an emotional letdown, or it's just tough to get up on the road and 2 weeks in a row after a big game against UNC. I think there was a lot of good things. I think that Shane was very efficient in the passing game still with his stats, but I think there were just some big plays that were given up on defense and the running game when Cooper went out. It just wasn't the same, and the team did enough to win, but it wasn't their best performance. So that's really just what I took away with it. It wasn't as good as the UNC game, but it was good enough to win. I was looking to see how they'd come out and see if they'd really come out on fire like they did against UNC, and it just wasn't the same game. But you're not going to be able to play perfect every single week.
No, you're not. And again, a win's a win, and we'll talk more about that coming up tomorrow night with the Choose Pews Pirate Game Day Countdown, again live from University of Chop House, 6:30, a Friday night edition of our Pirate pregame coverage for ECU and Tulane. And Jay, one more, we'll let you get out of here. And you mentioned it, moving forward, if the Pirates can get by Tulane this weekend, I think the schedule really shapes up nicely for ECU. Looking ahead, Southern Miss at home on homecoming or Military Appreciation Day. On the 19th, FIU in Miami, that's on the road. Should not be that tough of a contest there for the Pirates. Again, a first time playing that football team and first time playing there, so that could be somewhat of a factor. But when you look at the schedule again moving forward, Jay, really looks good for ECU. You have Tulsa and UAB at home before you take on NC State at a conference. But looking ahead, the Pirates, if they can get a win this weekend, I really like their chances as we get closer to that Marshall game, which is circled on my calendar, coming up on the 29th.
Yeah, I mean, Trent, I was looking at the schedule, and I've talked to a couple people this week, and I'm telling them, I'm just saying, listen, hey, ECU can very well be I guess it's 8-1 going into those last two games against NC State and Marshall, 9-1 going into those last two games, because the rest of the schedule, there's no team on it that ECU should lose to, and then the two tough games will be NC State and Marshall, at the end, but. The next after Tulane, the next four games are 3 out of the 4 at home, so that's going to be a big key, just to get rested up and get back to Dowdy-Ficklen. But it's shaping up to be a big year, and being 4-1, that's the best ECU's been in about 5 or 6 years as far as starting off the year that strong, and the team with the talent they have and the way the schedule looks. I mean, I'm expecting big things.
Well, a lot of football left to be played, Jay, so we'll find out what happens this weekend, and certainly keep our fingers crossed moving forward, hoping the Pirates can be at that 8-1 mark before they take on the Wolfpack coming up here later in November. Jay Sonhalter, again, former Pirate and contributor to the Choose Pews Pirate Game Day Countdown, who has spent some time with us on this Thursday Talk of the Town. Jay, we appreciate it. We'll see you tomorrow night, University of Chop House, for our Pirate Game Day Countdown.
Thanks, Trent. Sounds good.
All right, that's Jay Sonhalter there on this Thursday TOT. We'll take another time out, come back, get a sports update in. Look at some college football and NFL action for tonight. Stay tuned. More to come.
Eastern North Carolina's best selection of used cars and trucks is at East Carolina Chrysler Dodge Jeep in Greenville. The great folks at East Carolina Chrysler Dodge Jeep will put you in a quality pre-owned vehicle for as low as $99 a month. East Carolina Chrysler Dodge Jeep will pay top dollar for your trade. Right now, no matter the condition. Acres of sedans, minivans, SUVs, and trucks. You won't find a better deal on a used car anywhere. So bring in your car and trade up to a quality pre-owned vehicle.
And remember, East Carolina Chrysler Dodge Jeep will pay more for your trade than anyone.
Stallings Mobile and Mini Storage Company will deliver a storage unit to your home or business today. Stallings Storage is the only local company providing mobile storage units 8x15 or 8x10 delivered to your site. If you are remodeling your home or office or need to store merchandise and inventory at your business, you need to call Stallings Mobile and Mini Storage. We deliver, pick up, and store it for you. It's that easy, and there's no need to send your business out of town when your mobile storage needs can be met right here with people you know. Stallings Mobile and Mini Storage is located in Pitt County on Beast Oaks Road. It's a well-secured facility with a live-in manager. Fixed units range from 5 feet by 10 feet to 40 feet by 40 feet. We store boats, cars, anything you need. We are Pirate supporting pirates. Call Stallings Mobile and Mini Storage today at 321-2300. That's 321-2300.
When you're on the go, it's Trade Wilco. No matter where you go in Eastern Carolina, there's sure to be an attractive and always clean Trade Wilco Hess station nearby. For the absolute lowest prices on gas, groceries, and travel necessities, stop at any of the Trade Wilco Hess stations throughout Eastern Carolina. Keep your eyes on the road, but remember to look for the green and white Hess sign. The best part? No one supports the ECU Pirates more. So when you're on the go, it's Trade Wilco.
This is the spot where 50 years ago, Pirates came together to build a stadium, where 50,000 screaming fans cheer their team to victory, where cannons roar to mark each score.
You can paint this one purple.
Where Pirate football lives on. This is the spot you need to be this fall. Dowdy Ficklin Stadium. For tickets, visit ECUPirates.com.
Don't miss the Shaw Floors You Save We Give sale. You save up to $500 on select Shaw flooring, like carpet, hardwood, and more. We give to St. Jude Children's Research Hospital to help them find cures and save children. Hurry, event ends November 18th.
Contact Jason Boyd today at Boyd's Carpet, 115C Tire Tower Road in Winterville. Call 321-7066.
Sports time on this Thursday Talk of the Town, brought to you by Stadium Sports. Coming up tonight, college football in the American Athletic Conference. Number 8 Louisville, 5-0 on the season, welcomes 4-1 Rutgers to Papa John's Cardinal Stadium. Kickoff set for 7:30, and that one on ESPN. NFL action for tonight. The 0-5 New York Giants will visit the 3-2 Chicago Bears. Kickoff set for 8:25. Other NFL news: the Atlanta Falcons got some bad news as wide receiver Julio Jones will miss the remainder of the season with a right foot injury. The Falcons are 1-4. They have a bye week this week. Major League Baseball from last night. Cardinals beat the Pirates 6-1 to advance to the National League Championship Series. They will host the Dodgers, who are well rested, in Game 1 coming up on Friday night. Again, the Choose Pews Pirate Game Day Countdown will kick off Friday night at University of Chop House, 6:30. Myself, Pat Jones, and Jay Sonhalter here on 103.7 as we preview ECU and Tulane again in a big matchup there for the Pirates. A sports update brought to you by Stadium Sports, where right now you can get great deals on ECU Nike apparel, and Stadium Sports also has Youth Easton XL1 bats in stock. That's the hottest bat right now on the market. So let Stadium Sports experienced baseball staff help you make the right decision on a baseball bat that will make the player in your house more successful. 1440G Charles Boulevard in Greenville. Stadium Sports, where the players shop. So stop by there and get you some gear for this weekend, wherever you're watching the game. Stadium Sports, and you can also check them out online at shopstadiumsports.com. So we have a lot to look forward to coming up this weekend, all the events going on around Eastern Carolina. And, of course, ECU and Tulane. This weekend at 3:30. That game will be televised on WITN, so you can watch that game from the Superdome coming up live as the Pirates look to move to 5-1 there. We appreciate also this morning the time that Rick Santorum gave Henry yesterday as we played that interview back. If you missed that, again, check it out online, archived at bonesville.net, and watch our replay this afternoon coming up from 5 to 6. This afternoon on Cable 7 and 10 to 11 tonight. Also coming up this afternoon, Eastern Carolina News and Views with Tom and Sadie from 5 to 6 here on 103.7 WTIB and 94.1 WNBU. Henry out today. I'm Trent McGee and filling in as we're wrapping up this Thursday TOT hour number 2. The weather for today, still going to be some rain in the forecast, about a 30% chance as that rain is moving off the coast of Eastern Carolina as we speak. It hovered now for the past 3 days, but it's certainly moving off now. And we do expect a slight rain chance moving forward today and tonight and into tomorrow. So if you're out watching some high school football tomorrow night, be sure to take that rain jacket just to be on the safe side. But hopefully this weekend will be rain-free so we can get some of these great events going on around the country underway this weekend. Again, your high for today, about 63 degrees, and it's going to remain right around that temp, 63 to 65 now for the next 3 days as we're well into fall and getting closer to that winter season here in Eastern North Carolina. But again, today, that rain kind of sticking around right there off the coast. In fact, looking at the current radar, it's just to the east of Elizabeth City and Eaton in that area, so it's still circling right now, but it's quickly moving off. Thanks for being with us on this Thursday Talk of the Town. We'll be back again tomorrow in studio. We're not going to be on location tomorrow. We're going to be here in the studio for Free for All Friday of Talk of the Town, so be sure to check in with us there. Again, Tom and Sadie this afternoon from 5 to 6 on 103.7 WTIB with Eastern Carolina News and Views. Thanks so much. Have a great Thursday, and we will see you tomorrow.
Cable 7, your hometown station.